Hello, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. I thought I would start filming right away because I'm in a really great mood. I have so many wonderful things to share with people that are having breakthroughs on a massive scale today. I have like so many clients, so many of you viewers. Everybody is DMing me. They're getting all their wishes. I have people that, wanted to start taking horseback riding lessons again, and now they're connected with that. People that were trying to have babies, that's happening. Breakthroughs at work, feeling a release of any kind of fears, claustrophobia, speaking in public, they're releasing that. There is like a conquering after conquering fear today, and everybody is getting blessings and wishes everywhere I'm looking on all my social platforms, and I'm so excited for you guys. So this is kind of what I want to do this read on. What are your breakthroughs that are coming for you? Because we all have, these kind of, I call them like ingrown hairs. It's like one of those things where you are progressing beautifully throughout your day and then boom, some trigger hits you, right? It can be speaking publicly. It can be that one person that you run into on campus or at work that is just, I call them the ice outs, because what they try to do, and you're going to have one or two of these, I feel, you guys, what they do is they try to put themselves in a superior position by acting with some kind of icy demeanor. It's not friendly. So it's really weird that in our cognitive reasoning, we try to impress people like that are kind of cold, standoffish, that act a little superior. It's like we feel like we have to prove ourselves. When I was younger, I used to do that, with certain people, in school. And then I realized what it really was, that it was a behavior. And that's part of what got me so interested in psychology was, why do some people get all these beautiful rewards and attention for being terrible? And it's kind of just a psychological facet that when people are kind of saying you can't impress me, you go out of your way to try to impress them. But now, like, people are really awake to that, and they're like, no, these are just people that put themselves on a pedestal and want other people to kiss their buns and do things for them. So if you have any icy demeanors, walk right by them. It's called the freeze out. It's like that's what they want. They want you to go up and kind of curry favor and be extra, and try to do things for them. And it's almost like they get in this pattern of that. You see that, right? It's like in Mean Girls type of thing where everybody is worshiping them for basically being bad people. So now the opposite is happening. You're like, if you're not warm and giving and loving and you have nothing to offer, why the hell am I even talking to you? You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes decades to get over that. We have a relative, a friend, a colleague, somebody like that. And it's really, really strange. People think, oh, I'll kill them with kindness. I'm like, no, I'll just pretty much ignore them. I've got better things to do. And you're going to realize that too. That's what a lot of you guys are doing. You're having these breakthroughs that this, again, I talked about this in this morning's video. Every exchange, every relationship, everything is like a bank, right? If you are constantly putting in deposits and they are constantly taking out withdrawals, there is a huge disbalance. You have to have some, equality within these exchanges. Otherwise, bye-bye. You have much better things to do, right? You're a bird, bitch. You gotta fly. It's that time of year. We have all this beautiful, wonderful, warm, giving holiday energy coming, and we don't need to stagnate in that heavy energy. So we have 3 cards to choose from. Bath Call, which is also number 8. 24 Alpha of Alcyon. It's like Halcyon days, but Alcyon, because that's where that word derives from. 33 is Yeshi Tsogal. I'm not sure if that's a pronunciation. I know that way back last year, I did a Christmas time video, and there were a lot of Indian goddesses and Eastern goddesses, and I remember it was a really big read, and I think I mispronounced one of those, and somebody didn't get offended, but they were like, oh, I feel, they took it as an affront mispronouncing their goddesses that, they revere. So if that ever happens, I'm not doing that intentionally or trying to diminish your, god or goddess that you revere. It's simply, I don't know every word on the planet, and I'm sorry about that. So anyway, so now we're on to number 1. When I read that, I feel that, and I'm never defensive, and I understand that too, because sometimes things really stand out to us, right? And it's like, I definitely have the highest respect for every kind of deity and entity out there, so it's not intentional or it's not carelessness. It's just sometimes I haven't seen also every card in the deck, so when I flip it over, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. It has 800 consonants and no vowels, and I'm like, okay, it's like Dutch. So let's begin, you guys. So we have Bath Call. So let's see what's kind of going for you. I'll just use the book as a quick reference because I adore the writing in this. I got to tell you guys, I've been using this for a few times. This is Alana Fairchild's White Light Oracle, and she's just profound. She's amazing, succinct, really erudite. She gets to the points beautifully without being, she doesn't use too many flowery terminology that gets you lost. It's just really beautiful. So Bath Call is saying, forget about any complications and over explanations right now. As you are seeking simplicity and the deepest truth of your heart, you're gently but firmly going to cast aside that which does not resonate true to your heart. Again, these people that ice you out, that you feel like you have to do certain things for, you do not. Especially at Christmas, don't overspend for people that aren't deserving, trying to earn points, whatever. They'll never be satisfied. They're not worth the effort, okay? I'm definitely feeling this for so many people. Focus on and speak from a higher spiritual perspective. All prayers are answered at the perfect time and in the perfect way. You have a powerful voice which can foster healing and wisdom on our planet. I definitely feel if you chose this, you guys, a lot of you are light workers. A lot of you guys are stepping up, your spiritual understanding. You want to know more, because once we start to evaluate what is important in our life, so many things shift, right? You're like, why am I giving so much attention to how I look or the car I drive or how, I'm perceived by others, when I could be using all this time for creative aspects and formulating a long-term goal to have all my dreams come true and connect with people and find my soulmate and, spend quality time with my family, right? We get kind of pulled into this vortex of the 3D and the sheep mentality of like mob mentality, like, oh, just work, sleep, watch Netflix and eat and talk about it and take pictures of yourself on, Instagram and stuff like that. And it gets very, very, it just gets very kind of treadmill-y and heavy, where a lot of people are just breaking out that they're recognizing these patterns and they're like, you know what, that doesn't do it for me. And I'm guilty of this myself. I set patterns throughout the day. Like I'm always trying to, get some exercise in or go out in nature, and I start to work and I'll see myself doing the same things at the same time during the day. And it's like, I really operate best when everything is spontaneous. And I feel like that's going to come in for you right now. So Bathkal is a really mysterious creature. She is an angel that's known as the divine oracle, the daughter of the divine voice and pure, true sound of spirit. So when she whispers to your heart, it's an inner knowing, a truth. So to honor the inner knowing, like it really requires the confrontation of fear or moving in unexpected directions. Again, all these people that were DMing me today and emailing me, huge breakthroughs just by saying, I'm going to look at this a different way, a different perspective. It is always how we speak to ourselves. I'm not afraid of this. I can speak in public. I can share my thoughts. I'm always divinely guided and protected. I feel safe. I am loved. All of these things. When we do that, we kind of navigate differently. We come from a different reality, and it's not fear-based. And this is definitely helping. So the deep resonance of her truth really is more powerful than the resistance we initially feel as we let go of our limited perspectives, right? We allow ourselves to be guided by spirit, because oftentimes we have a perceived outlook on something, right? And we anticipate a certain result. So when it deviates from that, we're like, well, is that wrong? And it's not, because oftentimes, all the time, divine's plan for us is so much bigger, vast, more than we can even conceive. And oftentimes it's not as fast as we want, because we're such a quick results orientated society. So we have to slow down. It's one of those things where when you really take the time to do things well, the results come, right? No rush jobs ever have miraculous beauty to them. You know what I mean? If you're painting and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm just going to whack this. Painting is one thing that's a little different, but just let's say varnishing and sanding, if you rush that, you're going to have problems. Things of beauty take time, right? When she appears in the reading, that it is an inner spiritual call that requires a leap of faith right now. So a more authentic awakened you is really coming to life right now. I feel like you guys are probably seeing huge amounts of synchronicities, 1111s, 555s, 222s, numbers, electrical, weird things, bird activity, probably seeing the same image over and over. Like, why am I seeing deer every single day, 5 times a day on all this imagery? Why am I seeing owls? All of that. And when I started to say that, I looked out my window and I realized it just started snowing. I was just in my living room, and I looked over and I'm like, it's breezy and there's pine trees back there, and it started snowing. Oftentimes we'll be called to pause and look at something. That's another sign for us. Like I was telling one of my friends today, I thought it was so crazy. Like I would just be thinking of one of the cats or animals. They would literally come in the room, sit on the bed, just look at me and leave. It was so weird because usually they want to sit on my chest, my head, or whatever, stick their whole, butt in my face, but they were just looking at me and they left. Winter was doing that. Poots was doing that. Citrine's always good for a cuddle, but it was really odd. It was like, I just think of them and then they'd come. It's one of those things. So right now, this oracle is indicating that a voice that is true and needs to be not acknowledged inside you is going to come out. It could be something from your own heart that you're just going to say without judgment or censorship. And it's going to be really thought-provoking for you and a release as well. I feel like some of you guys may have a concern you want to voice to somebody, maybe somebody in your family that's just pushing the boundaries a little too far, maybe a friend, a boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, family member, coworker, where just say something non-judgmental, like, listen, this is just not something I'm really too pleased about right now, and this is why. And I'm never like, you did this and you did that. It always helps to start with, I feel that, or I would love for us to come to, a nice considerate impasse with, nice considerate conclusion with this, because we're at an impasse, because oftentimes it is a misinterpretation of the situation in the first place. Oftentimes somebody will hear something from somebody else and it's not what was originally said. It's just interpreted from somebody else's bias. So I feel like there might be a miscommunication at work or something, and it's not even what is the truth. So, we don't need to get our backs up over something that's not even true. 10 of Cups. Yes. 4 of Wands. Beautiful. Okay. So this is what we're getting over and moving towards. I like the 10 and the 10. So look at this. You got 2 10s here. We are getting over and hurdling these 10 of Swords moments. This is happening to everybody. Breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. When you recognize what is a standard block in your life, what is it? Fear of being rejected, fear of being lonely, fear of being incompetent, whatever it is, recognize that and ask yourself, is this really true? And why do I have to be loved by everybody, be competent in everything? Scale it to what matters to you. Who do you really want to be loved and acknowledged by? I bet that's already true that you are. Where do you want to be competent? I bet your skill sets at work or whatever you do are enough for you to get by beautifully. You don't have to be expert level at everything. That's kind of like the onus everybody puts on themselves, to have to be like the supernova in everything they do. They simply don't. And it's oftentimes the overachievers. I'm not kidding. Once I went and saw my father's sister in this special, it was like a special care unit of a recovery center, because she was feeling suicidal, and she was very smart and very sweet, and I adored her. And the people I met in there were absolute geniuses, and this was the problem, that their minds wouldn't stop creating all these things and they couldn't attempt or accomplish them fast enough, and it seemed like a disappointment to them, or they couldn't kind of slow the process down. So oftentimes people with high intellect get this moment, too many swords, too many thoughts, and they're not coming from the soul level. Everything's in the head, so they get entrapped by this. But when you're realizing that it's not really true, we believe what we tell ourselves. So when we tell ourselves, I'm capable, I don't need to think so much, none of this stuff even really matters. What matters is that I'm focused and happy on the important things in life, my health, my family, what I have to offer the world, all of that, where you're learning your spirituality, and these swords get lifted and they get turned into cups, because you're realizing that you have a lot of emotional valid points that you're seeking right now, right? What was once thoughts like, I really would like love. Here you go. Here's your love. I would really like to be acknowledged. Here you go. I would like to be noticed, blah, 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 blah. You're being handed these things. So you're going to have this beautiful 10 of Cups moment, because you're looking out over the future. You're planning it in a balanced, beautiful way. You have access now in your mind and heart to what really matters. Before, again, we got in that heavy mass mentality of, oh, I have to do this, seem that way, do that, make this amount of money, have this certificate, blah, 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 blah. You don't need to have anything. People that are going to come to you on equal footing, again, they're not making too many withdrawals, because you're saying, listen, I feel equal to everybody out there. Nobody is superior to me and nobody is inferior, because everybody is in their own lane doing all kinds of beautiful, amazing things. So have that faith that in your future, if you slow down and focus, you're going to have what you need, because it is coming to you. So you guys waiting for that proposal, waiting for that soulmate, waiting for that calm, waiting for that beautiful holiday moment, that trip, it's all coming. It's all coming for you, because you've released any of these fears or doubts that say you're not supposed to have this, you're not allowed this, because you're allowed anything. I would love for you guys to listen to Abraham Hicks, Marissa Peers, Victor Otto, any of those speakers on YouTube. They are ideal for this. So many times we incapacitate ourselves from success because of our doubts. And why would we doubt ourselves when we are our most important asset person being, spirit out there? Why are we doubting ourselves? We don't doubt that our best friends should have success. We don't doubt that our parents should have success, our children. So why should we doubt ourselves, right? It's your super aha moment. Speaking your truth and living it. I'm loving that for you, group one. That is so beautiful. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Melanie. Don't forget to press like and subscribe if you're new. And also the little gray arrow on the right will bring you down to all my links. Please check out December's Goddess Provisions box. It is off the hook. It has so many beautiful things. The gold moon necklace, and you get a full set of moon phase smoky quartz stones with gold. They're so crazy. This is probably the most ultimate box I've seen, and I was blown away by it. So check that out in my Etsy store. Thank you guys for all making your purchases. I'm so excited when people buy pieces that I'm like are some of my favorite pieces, and I put them on. I'll be thinking about them. I'm serious, and then somebody will come on the site and purchase it. It's really weird. So thank you guys for supporting my channel through the goddess boxes and all of that. I really, really appreciate it. So now we're on to number 2, Alpha of Alcyone. So this is saying a positive twist of fate and a windfall of good fortune are destined for you right now. Brightness and hope are going to alleviate any negativity and give you the strength to find your way through a time of adversity or challenge right now. Finally, it's like you're going to experience peace, love, and deep connection with your true self and the universe. Good things are on their way to you. The brightest star in the Pleiades star system, Alcyone, holds the frequency of love, the sacred feminine healing power of compassion, the grace of mercy, and the myth of ancient Greece. So Alcyone was so in love with her husband, what's his name? Sex, that she referred to him as Zeus, and he referred to her as the divine wife of Zeus Hera. So Zeus was so irritated by this grandiosity that when Sex was at sea, Zeus struck his ship with a lightning bolt. In her grief, Alcyone threw herself into the sea. Moved by mercy, the gods transformed the lovers into kingfishers. So these birds embody the spiritual medicine of abundance, love, prosperity, bringing blessings and hope. So the Halcyon days take their name from this goddess turned kingfisher. They are the 7 days on either side of the shortest day of the year. The winter solstice, during this time, there's said to be no storms, only peaceful weather. And legend has it that, the gods of the winds calms all the storms during this period, so Alcyone can nest safely. So the term now symbolizes a period of luminous grace amid a challenging time, during which one can rest tranquilly, okay? It's also an omen for more peaceful days of love and prosperity ahead. So you don't have to bombard yourself with, oh my gosh, if I spend this, Christmas gifts, all these holiday gifts, spending time, and people get a little too speedy and ahead of themselves and concerned with matters that don't really have much import. We should be worried about, who do I get to see? Who do I get to spend time with? Like, I'm super stoked. Jeannie and I planned this little mini trip to New York after Christmas, and we're going to take the kids and go to the museum and do stuff. And those are my halcyon days, when we go to places and have these memories and create them. So I'm really, really looking forward to this. So I want you guys to, just sort of open that optimism box of hope and, slow everything down and know what really matters is that we have a peace of mind. We slow it all down. I feel like, there's this intense time coming where everybody can breathe calmly and they're not racing around and they're not chasing things that don't matter. So the 7 of Wands, I like this. This is about you standing up for yourself in some issue. 8 of Wands. It's very wand heavy. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so what this is saying too, in the next few days, to watch out for, overcome, and be able to have peace of mind. Again, you don't need to over-explain yourself, your situation. This is about being quite defensive. You're defending your ground, whatever. I feel like whatever your issue is, you're right. Within your family, this could be deep-seated old issues, at work, something. You're doing a good job, and I feel like other people might be trying to undermine you in some kind of situation. You're just standing up. You're not over-explaining. You're just saying, listen, I do a good job. End of story. You're simplifying. You're keeping it easy, and other people know this. What we need to understand is just because one person or 2 people, there's a couple bad apples in some kind of group, and they're lazy or they're huge irritants, other people are aware of this. We don't have to shout it from the rooftops. We let them sink their own ships, because what happens is people think people don't notice the underhanded, devious behavior, but they do. There's something intrinsic in those energy exchanges where people really know. People that matter know. So you don't have to be the town crier. So-and-so is doing this, so-and-so is doing that. People know. Just go about, stay in your lane, because you're going to be doing really beautiful with this. You're reaching your dreams. You have that arrow pulled back so sharply, and you're just letting it go. So you know where you stand very soon in every place, work, school, within your family. It's time for you to share your wisdom experience with other people too, because you're garnering a lot of important information that I think will be very helpful to other people. And I'm really loving that, every once in a while, little adjustments just can make a big difference, right? If your life gets out of balance, all you have to do is remove people, places, and things that are drawing your attention that you get no feedback or no return on, right? Time to let go of the past. Right now, you are really about to turn some major corner, and you have a lot of healing coming right now, which is really great. You're going to be able to afford the things you're dreaming of. You're getting clear on what you value most, and it's going to help you find peace for sure, 100%. You are really starting a fresh perspective with a lot of things. You're not going to be so far in your head or so far in your heart that you're making poor decisions. You have a really good flow of mind, body, spirit, what's going to work out. I feel like you're educating yourself where you should be. You're letting go of phobias and fears. A huge new cycle is starting for you and your family, and it's going to be very healthful for you. You're feeling good, you're feeling strong, you feel in control, and you also have this thing where you're feeling more respected, and you have your wits about you, you know what I mean? Your heart knows where you can let go and find peace, and that's exactly what's happening for you. It's time for you to experience lots of spiritual closures. A beautiful new reality is just opening up for you in a really transcendent, gorgeous way. It's time for you to trust what's meant for you and move towards it with an open heart, because it's there. It's all aligned for you. I want to pull one more card for you too as an overall. So making a choice on education, I wanted a clarifier. So I feel like some of you guys might need to take another course or two to settle you up to that kind of expert level where you feel comfortable. If you have a dissertation, if you have to speak on something, whatever is going on, I feel like if you just, and it might just be, a course or listening to somebody on TV who's an expert in that field to kind of get the cornerstone, words that you need so they'll flow beautifully. Because I like Jupiter right now in Capricorn because it's grounded energy. And if you've ever talked and dealt with a Capricorn, they don't mince words. They don't have a hard time finding their words because they don't get over emotional about things. They're very factual and they're very tuned into how to get these results quickly. So that's going to help you in a huge way. You're also going to be able to monitor a whole bunch of stuff at once and multitask with no problems or distractions as well. So things are really going to you're going to acclimate beautifully to any new situations. And I'm loving that for you, group 2. Beautiful. Yeah, you have a lot of like crazy bouncy messages all over the place, but it's like, I'll just go with it. I just feel like there's a whole spectrum of new information coming your way, and you just absorb it beautifully, and you're going to have these halcyon days where you feel good, you feel connected, and you don't have to struggle anymore. So beautiful. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and thank you for tuning in today. My name's Melanie. I post every single day because I love you guys, and all my links are down below. If you need a private read, do check out the Goddess Provisions box. It's off the hook this year. I'm so impressed. You get a full, beautiful smoky quartz set of gold painted moon crystals. I was like, oh my gosh, everything is really cool. And then a small percentage also goes to help support my channel. I'm an ambassador of the brand, and I'm really proud of them. It's all, people that are holistic healers and craftsmen, local, small businesses. So I'm really proud of them. Again, and thank you guys for making the purchases for the holiday season off my Etsy store with all my handcrafted goodies. I've been making these, I'm really into things that look like Christmas trees. I'm using blue agates and lots of silver and crystals and fun stuff. I love to always have a handful of these in my bag. So if I run into somebody, I'm like, and you get a bracelet and you get a present. You ever run into that person and you want to have a present for them? I always have a bag load of stuff or silver coins or something crazy. So I'm really excited for you guys. Yeah, enjoy these halcyon days. Storm free. You've weathered it already, and now you're on to brighter, calmer waters. So I'm loving that. So number 3 with I think it's Yeshi Sogal 333. I want to read a brief thing from the book from that, because I remember reading this the other day and I was really impressed with that. Again, I feel like that's your numbers. You're probably seeing that over and over. That's a huge angelic number. I feel like with 2020 coming, a lot of you guys are just zipping right through this portal, like into the age of Aquarius, where you feel loving, calm, and connected. Like none of this garbage matters. This heavy 3D mom mentality garbage matters. Somebody could come up and scream in your face and you're like, dude, that's your energy. Have fun with that and just keep it moving. Like you just are not affected. Your light is so bright. You don't see any of the pettiness, any of the garbage, and you are just ticking along beautifully. So this is saying you're going to overcome all obstacles. You know, success is imminent for this group. Stay connected to your path no matter what you continue to do. Just apply yourself. Really allow for your spiritual path to support you in these areas. Live by your spiritual beliefs. Seek out the support of your spiritual brothers and sisters. Get the help when you need. I'm constantly on YouTube listening to my favorite people too, because I sometimes need that reinforcement as well. Constantly listen to people that make you feel good and positive and let you know that you're due for this. There can be a dramatic healing breakthrough when you rely upon your spiritual connections. I have it all the time. Like I know sometimes if my family, a whole family's not feeling well and they're under the weather and I'm running around trying to do stuff, it's like I could get the poor me's, or I could say, thank God that I have my health right now in order to be able to do that and do the things that I need to get done, right? Truly, you are a light worker in this group right here. So embrace it and live it. You know, really prepare yourself to connect consciously with your breath too, to flow in and out, because a lot of light workers are also empaths and they can, you know, develop this connection with everybody's energy. And we don't always want everybody's energy because we need to release that, right? And to stay calm and stay focused. So see, divine consciousness, this group is absolutely, you're going to be receiving 333s, 111s. I see owls, I see birds, I see falcons, eagles. Weirdly enough, I see like albino animals as well everywhere. Like those photos are always going to pop up on your feed probably, because I feel like anything that's spectacular and special is kind of coming your way this new season, because you're really aligned with this true power within yourself. And when you connect with that, it's crazy because nothing affects you. When I'm in that zone, like I said earlier, somebody could legitimately just come in and just like scream in my face, and I could be like, that's, you know, that's not really necessary. Goodbye. That type of thing, where if people are wound too tight and they're too in their head, they get super defensive, and that's where problems start, you know, road rage, all that kind of garbage. Where when you're connected to a really good, happy, healthy energy, other people's energy is just deflected off you. And if they're starting to mirror you, they're mirroring beautiful, calm behaviors, right? Because you're feeling good. 2 of Wands, yeah, you are planning your future in a big, spectacular way. Oh, you're letting go of something. Okay, so right away, this is what's going to happen. For a few of you, listen, I heard Stargirl say this and I thought it was funny because she was doing a Sagittarius read and she was saying, listen, as a collective, you guys are potentially millions. So this will not be verbatim for every single person. I have several messages. So the first one, it may be particularly suited to what you're going through. Some of you guys have a choice in a relationship right now. You have a new person that just came in or is coming in. They are your ideal partner. They are your soulmate. However, you may be tentatively attached to somebody else or thinking of somebody else. You're going to have a tower moment where you come down to the foundation. You have to let that person know, listen, some of you guys have been in marriages for a long time too, and now you're being disrespected. You're not being cared for the way you should. You're not being cherished. It is this new offer, and it's genuine, and it is your person. You have to have that conversation. Listen, as a person who requires, you know, love, affection, and attention, I don't want to be a piece of furniture, and or I don't want to be arm candy, and or I don't want to be a step or a cog in your wheel to get somewhere else. A few of you are going to have that because your new future that awaits you, you know that it's glistening, gleaming, real soul love. Okay, so that's one message, and it's pretty powerful because it is hard to be sometimes entwined, and we're trying to make that decision. We're like, is it just us? Am I being harsh and critical of this other person? But again, I'm going to use the analogy of the bank. Is somebody is making all the deposits and somebody's making with all the withdrawals emotionally, financially, otherwise there's a huge disbalance. So ask yourself, am I friggin' depositing 24/7 and this person is like ka-ching, ATM, withdrawal, and leaving you depleted? That is not for you. You have to have this. It's going to be their tower moment, which is funny, not yours. You're like, hello, I'm happy to have been your whatever, doormat, whatever you thought that was, but those days are over. Good day to you, and off you go, because you have a serious soulmate connection happening here. Now, an entirely different message for another group that I'm hearing is You are in a place right now of business or work where you're giving it your all. And what's happening is it's depleting you. You're not getting the recognition. You have so many gifts, powers, and abilities that somebody else or just you being employed by yourself are deserving of, not where you are, because you have a really great offer coming that is substantial and is going to change your whole system of thinking, financially bringing you a lot more money, bringing you peace of mind, less hours, all of that. So again, this is your place of business's tower moment where they're going to suffer because you gave so much. You probably went in early, stayed late. You're always thinking about work while everybody else is kind of just coasting. I love to listen to Nicholas Asbot today because he's like, you can substantiate 85% of go. You don't have to be at 110 all the time and, and leaving and just going home and crashing because you're tired. I used to do that too. And even my husband, Jeannie, was like, you don't own Whole Foods. You don't own Amazon. Why are you going so crazy for these people? And I'm like, because I'm really devoted when I'm doing something. I want top quality, top notch performance. However, it takes a toll. So ask, what is your reward for all this hard driven work, right? Are you being acknowledged? Or do you see long-term gains when you look out over the future? Are you passionate about this? This is hugely, we should have passion and adoration for what we're doing. If we're not, we need to go elsewhere. So this is a big question for you guys. And you guys are having huge life changes where you choose your soulmate, you choose yourself, your sanity, and huge abundance for yourself. And you win because it's just those things. We make those decisions. I did it for myself over a year ago. I'm like, I think sometimes it's ridiculous that I did what I did for what I was given back for that. I was like, wow, it was really crazy how hard I would work and going on. And even Ian would try to tell me, like, why are you going in when everybody calls out or on snow days? And I couldn't figure it out. It was like, I was driven because we think sometimes as individuals that we can change an institution or a person if we get, again, deposit. Hell no, they're constantly making withdrawals and they'll do that. It's very taxing. So there's a really gentler way to proceed and obtain the same or greater effect. You are going to be able to stop this frenzied working of the mind by grounding yourself and come out on top of everything. Group 3, so beautiful. I'm loving that for you. No more frenzy, no more push, no more exhaustion. This is all your time to win in a huge way. And I love that this is in the center and it's everybody else's tower moment because you realize you deserve the best. You're planning your future. This scarecrow, see you later. This is Burning Man. You're having a Burning Man moment all by yourself. So love and light to you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below. If you need a private read, if you want to go shopping at my Etsy store, I have all kinds of fun new stuff. I got a couple new listings I'm going to put up too. I did some great bright blue agate pieces that came out beautiful. Thank you guys for supporting my channel through your purchases of my stuff that I make in the Goddess Provisions box. I appreciate it. And I appreciate my patrons and viewers. You guys are the absolute best. Keep the comments up. I mean, I feel like when you express things, anything shared and anything communicated to another person can alleviate the pressure of keeping it inside. Plus, you're also manifesting it by saying it. My dreams are coming true. My reality is shifting, all of that. So love and light, you guys.